remember that the voting was by lining up. And during the day, and everybody saw the results. How does anybody change that other than making oneself a fool? Our lawyers, however, have advised that Tanga Odoi can be the one who corrects a mistake that he made. It is the lawyers' committee, the tribunal, that will deal with the politics and law. They will, of course, be guided by the same facts as guided by ISO and CID in arresting the criminals and charging them. Therefore, those affected by the mistakes of the mistake makers should know that their grievances are already being addressed. Everything will be rectified. It is just the facts and evidence that will conclude the matter. Signed, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, sincerely. And in more stories, the Archbishop of Uganda, the Most Reverend Dr. Kazimba Mugalu, has asked Ugandans to embrace peace as we are heading to the 2026 general elections. Also, police have arrested 4 Uganda young Democrats at the Electoral Commission offices who had gone to meet the EC chairperson, Justice Byabakama, over their petition. This is Good Morning Uganda. My name is Julie Nantaba Mosisi, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Good morning, Robert.
Oh, a lovely morning to you, Julie, and our viewer. Thank you very much for waking up with us this morning. I'm excited and happy. I hope you are, because one thing I learned, Julie, is that how you start your day matters. The positivity matters great on how your day is going to move around.
That's right.
So the moment you begin on a low ground, you're so laid back, so much may happen. So embrace that day very strong, ready to take on whatever challenges may come. I'm doing fine, and of course, there's something I'm laughing about.
Is it the president's letter?
The president later, of course.
Regarding the primaries.
There are a few things that are very interesting.
Right.
But Democratic Party. Oh, you know, when I was growing up, I don't know why my father used to use the word, you do not have the moral authority. For example, if your kids or, you know, brothers and sisters growing up, there could be, but daddy will tell you now, if you did this, then why do you come and report your friend to me? Robert, you don't have the moral authority to report so-and-so over this. Now, Democratic Party
moral justice.
Yesterday comes out and says all those that could have failed or were cheated or rigged in the NRM, they are welcome to Democratic Party. Now, why this is laughable, we all remember what happened when Democratic Party had its elections that saw Norbert Mao back. I'd never seen the punches I saw, the verbal artillery, the confusion, the chaos. Now, much as NRM has its problems, but DP cannot be another place to run to. And therefore, I highly doubt that they would have more authority to talk about, to speak into the matter as come this side, because you'll be, it's potato. Now, why would you leave? So that's what I'm laughing about. I'm like, have these great men quickly forgotten what was in their house? For them to say, if this side things are not going on very well, please come up.
Well, politics tends to be serious, but it also has the comic side.
And quickly also moving into the president's letter, of course, more people are flocking the NRM secretariat to petition. And remember, you have only 5 days for you to petition from the day the elections were held. Now, so many are coming, but some of the things are very interesting. I saw Honorable Estambayo saying my district had 5 RDCs, they were all against me. Now, there is one who ranked 3rd position, that is in Mukono, and came to report Honorable Ronald Chibule that, you see, this one intimidated us. Now, 3rd position, now that one was. So some are coming with things that are hard to explain. One says, for me, you see, I was censured. It is the president who returned me to parliament. Then now they told me they will wait for you in the vote. No, I just want to believe that it is human, that accepting a loss is hard. But I think when we go to an election, there must be a winner and a loser. But also second, I'm not defending Tanga Odoi, but some of us who followed some of these primaries, I must say there is so much that was far beyond Dr. Tanga Odoi's ability. For example, what would Dr. Tanga Odoi do when residents say, for us, we don't want anything to do with the Yellow Book? We know who we are going to vote for, Temutu Tawanya, and they straightly go to the lines and they tell their candidates or their agents, Mwemwe Simbeho. Then the presiding officer has to just count the people. Say this one is the winner. What would he do, Dr. Tango Doi? Where VIPs, you know, NRM has ministers, has, you know, big people. Has people are connected to generals, who are connected to police. What would he do when school children are brought online?
In that case, I would wonder, when school, wasn't there any form of security on ground, or even the presiding officers, the electoral, those representing the NRM Electoral Commission? How can a child vote and you actually count them? Does it make moral sense?
It's a matter of these incidents, even the poor, I want to feel pity for them.
It's a matter of telling this child, please step away, you are not.
If this child has been promised money, or they have even been paid money, now they are coming on this line knowing we are getting money. Their teachers have been paid money. There was one who was found with 68 million.
I think in that moment...
So there is so much as Tango Doi is the one who is responsible for this election. But there is so much that was far beyond him that needed security. Remember, these are 72,000 villages.
Right.
70, you know, the NRM election
as well as
is bigger than the national election, because every village is a polling station. Now, count 72,000. How much resources, how much money in terms, talk about police. Do we have enough police to police every village so that you're giving it about 5 constables?
I think even the NRM Electoral Commission
there is so much, I think,
are to blame in one way, because you can't tell me I'm looking at a child and I'm allowing them to vote. Sometimes you have to stand your ground as someone standing in that position.
When we commercialized politics, my sister, that is where we lost it. The moment we made politics as one of the most paying jobs,
I guess that's why
I want to call it paying jobs.
That everyone is corrupt,
yeah,
much as we shout about corruption.
It became dirty. If we say a member of parliament is earning as much as an arts teacher in Uganda today,
right?
I will tell you, Julie, you're not going to see people killing each other, this fighting, this rigging, because a person will say, what is there for me? But if I know if I go through and get the NRM flag, I must step into parliament, where as long as I swear in, there is a bank waiting to give me $1 billion, no surety my salary.
Anyways,
Tango Doi, we may blame him, but I see
surely
there is so much that Dr. Tango Doi could not manage or have control.
Right. On that note, indeed, for me, it's a reflection of even one's heart. If you're put in a particular position, even if you're representing the NRM Electoral Commission or the Electoral Commission itself, and you're seated there counting the voters and registering them and doing all the checks and balances, you also have a responsibility and a role to play. You're a steward. But on that note, let's have a look at what is on the local scene, Robert.
Well, we begin with our Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Robin Anabanja, who is in the New York. Now, the Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, has called upon world leaders to recommit to multilateralism, solidarity, and international cooperation to ensure no person or country is left behind. Nabanja made the call on Monday during the United Nations General Assembly 10th session of a high-level political forum official opening in New York. The Prime Minister, Robin Anabanja, is leading the Ugandan delegation of the United Nations High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development under the auspices of Economic and Social Council. While addressing the General Assembly, she said that Uganda has made remarkable strides in ensuring that no person is left behind in the SDGs. The 80th anniversary of the United Nations and this 10th session of the ISCOS High-Level Political Forum comes at a pivotal time, with only 5 years left to 2030 and limited global progress on the SDGs. Nabanja briefed world leaders that Uganda has come up with several interventions aimed at accelerating the attainment of the SDGs and ensuring that no one is left behind. The Premier said that through the parish development model, Uganda is addressing the 33% outside the money economy as a tool of empowering all people. Mengo Senior Secondary School celebrated its 130th anniversary, marking over a century of profound contribution to the education and national development in Uganda. The celebrations held at the school grounds featured various dignitaries, with the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, the chief guest. The day began with a Thanksgiving service led by the Archbishop of the Province of the Church of Uganda, the Most Right Reverend Dr. Samuel Stephen Kazimba Mugalu. A major highlight was the laying of a foundation stone for the 9-story mega dining building currently under construction, which is a signature project for the celebrations. The 18 billion project is expected to be completed within 2 years. Will seat up to 9,000 learners at once, reflecting the school's growth strategy. The complex will also house a gym, a 1,000-seat computer laboratory, a modern kitchen, and a main hall for performing arts. Despite a heavy downpour, the First Lady Janet Museveni addressed the gathering, congratulating Mengo Senior School on its remarkable journey and commending its outstanding achievements and contributions to Uganda and humanity. She attributed the school's resilience to its foundation on the rock of God. The Democratic Party, DP, has announced that its doors are open to all those who lost in the just concluded NRM primaries to join and compete for various positions. Addressing the media, the DP president, Norbert Mao, said that those wishing to join must adhere to the party guidelines. The Democratic Party has condemned the chaos that emerged during the elections and appealed to the NRM leadership to ensure it does not appear in the next election. Last week, the ruling NRM party elected its flag bearers for parliamentary positions in the primaries, with some areas marked by chaos. DP has opened up a welcome defeated NRM members to wish them join and contest on different positions. Norbert Mao stated that DP will have candidates at all positions ranging from LC to the presidency, and that DP has no plan to enter into any alliance with any political parties for a joint presidential candidate. Mao also noted that 5 political parties have already signed an agreement to join the iPod, with others in the pipeline. Over 80 candidates have already picked nomination forms to contest for parliamentary positions on the Democratic Party ticket across the country. And finally, from the local scene, controversy surrounding the presidency of the Uganda People's Congress political party has deepened, with the UPC Party Electoral Commission divided. Some commissioners back Enap Amin for presidency, following the earlier statement by the same commission disqualifying the latter from the post. Meanwhile, UPC President Jimmy Akena's bid for another term hangs in balance after court nullified his nomination process. This is a certificate of declaration as UPC Party President dated 21st July 2025, addressed to Enap Amin Dennis. The Electoral Commission Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama has also been notified through a memo dated 21st July 2025. These events raised controversy over the next leadership of Uganda People's Congress political party. The declaration of Amin locks out the intended UPC party delegates conference. The chairperson of the 4-member of UPC Electoral Commission, Haji Mohamud Kazimbirene, earlier showed that Amin was disqualified from contesting as UPC president. So, who has allowed the nomination of NAP as president? Both NAP and Jimmy Akena were recently nominated to contest for UPC presidency. However, High Court Judge Bernard Nyamanya disqualified Akena's bid through an order on a petition by UPC's party against Akena's third-term request. Wow. Now, that's the party is there.
Divided as well.
Can't. They are racing against time. Others already multi-party dispensation.
Indeed, and
if you remain in the movement system. People are killing each other. This other side here, welcome, don't come here.
Well, that's politics for you. They say it's a dirty game. Wonder who will make it clean. But let's move on to the foreign scene and look at matters AI, deepfake deception, Indian woman's identity stolen for erotic AI content. It took just a few days for Indian Instagram sensation baby doll Aki to double her following to 1.4 million. Thanks to a couple of viral social media moments. One was a video that showed her in a red sari dancing seductively to Dame Anger, a Romanian song, and a photo posted on the platform showed her posing with American adult film star Kendra Lust. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know about her, and the name Baby Doll Aki trended in Google search and spawned countless memes and fan pages. But there was one issue about to emerge. There was no real woman behind the online sensation. The Instagram account was fake, although the face it used had uncanny likeness to a real woman, a homemaker in the Braga city in Assam, whom we'll call Sanchi. The truth unraveled after her brother lodged a police complaint. Pratim Bora, Sanchi's ex-boyfriend, was arrested, and senior police officer Sizo Agawal, who's heading the investigation, told the BBC that Sanchi and Bora had a falling out, and the AI likeness he created was to exert pure revenge on her. Bora, a mechanical engineer and a self-taught artificial intelligence enthusiast, used private photos of Sanchi to create a fake profile, Miss Agawal said. Wow, they say be careful who you date, because what's that? Anyways, staying in the Asian part of the world, at least 15 Palestinians, including 4 children, have starved to death in a single day in the besieged Gaza Strip, according to health officials, bringing the total of number of deaths from malnutrition since Israel's war began to 101. The announcement on Tuesday came as Israeli forces continued to pound Gaza, killing at least 81 people, and the United Nations described the situation in the enclave as a horror show with a level of death and destruction without parallel in recent times. Most of the deaths have come in the last few weeks. Among the children who died on Tuesday were a 6-week-old Yusuf Al-Safadi, who passed away at a hospital in northern Gaza City, and 13-year-old Abdulhamid Al-Galban, who died in another medical facility in southern Khan Yunis, according to the doctors. Now, the pictures used there are quite sad, and sad to imagine what's going on in that part of the world. But coming to the continent in Africa, and that is to the neighborhood in Kenya. A Kenyan man on death row in Saudi Arabia for more than a decade has been released after a lengthy campaign to save him from execution, a Kenyan Foreign Affairs Ministry official has said. Stephen Abdukarim Munyako was released under a judicial decree, Korir Singoi posted on X without giving further details. His mother, veteran journalist Dorothy Kweyu, told local media that she rolled on the floor when she heard of his release. Munyako was working in Saudi Arabia when he was convicted of murdering a Yemeni colleague in 2011. The crime carries the death penalty, but after protracted negotiations, the victim's family agreed to accept blood money. Saudi Arabia follows Islamic law, which states that the death sentence can be commuted if the deceased family accepts blood money known as diya as compensation. Kenyan media reported that the family had received $1 million earlier this year in a payment made by the government and a charity. The Muslim World League. Munyako's execution was postponed multiple times following interventions by Kenyan officials.
What is that money called?
It's called blood money. And it states here that Saudi Arabia follows an Islamic law which states that the death sentence can be commuted if the deceased family accepts blood money, which is known as diya, as compensation.
You see, sometimes when people lose their relatives in such incidents, they end up gaining nothing. You've already lost a person, and then this person serves his sentence to maybe death. Now, where do I benefit? If you hang him. But sometimes if there is that blood money, who knows, it can push for something, maybe the education, though it's money I wouldn't enjoy. For sure, even if someone gave me $1 billion when I've lost a brother or a sister.
It can't replace them.
And you buy a building maybe to where you can get fees for the children.
Right.
That would mean sense. But still, anyway, justice is...
Indeed, justice always has a clash. Anyways, let's have a look at what is in the dailies today.
Oh, some stories here. Let's begin with a new vision. Now here, PDM, best and worst districts named. Now aggrieved NRM aspirants will get justice, says Museveni. That is in the new vision. Also, Uganda cripples with high syphilis burden. This is still around. Syphilis.
Wow.
Is that an STD?
Is that what they call kabotongo?
I'm not
right?
sure.
Syphilis.
But I think that's sexually transmitted.
Yes, as far as I remember what we were taught in school, yes.
So we still battle with that. Now here we have Museveni meets FAO, Director General, and still in the new vision, child killed in motorbike race. Very unfortunate, government introduces new AI-based title system. I'll quickly run to the daily monitor this morning. Polling power. Who are these people? There's Honorable Rebecca Kadaga, the Vice President. We have here a number of them. And KCCA clears Justice Kanyehamba burial in Uziga. Now, this is a residential area. But they are finally cleared. And 104 MP seat losers petition NRM over disputed results. Well, these and more in the Daily Monitor and also in the New Vision. But let's sail to Nairobi and, of course, to Tanzania.
Well, let's start off with Tanzania, and the headline there is "Never Again, Darts Pledge After Painful BRT Lessons." That's the headline there. And Dar es Salaam Rapid Transit Agency Chief Executive Atuman Kimaya has promised commuters a more coordinated and efficient rollout of the bus rapid transit's third phase following lessons learned from preceding phases. Also in the Citizen, key agreement on $42 billion LNG project on the cards. And drugs bus owners now want unfair law changed. Looking at the top of the Citizen, TPDC, Nigerian company, sign MOU for natural gas exploration in Nazi Bay. And looking at the elections political platform there, how a fractured opposition plans to take on CCM. And quickly looking at the Daily Nation, UDA bigwigs plot exodus. And game plan in there, 2027, political realignments rock the ruling party. Also in the Daily Nation, free at last. And that is the story of the Kenyan man we've just read for you. And still there's a scandal story. Audit says NTSA has no control over own portal. And looking at the top of the Daily Nation, 25,000 promoted teachers lament over elusive new higher salaries. Meanwhile, state slaps more protest suspects with terrorism charges. Can you imagine? That is in the Daily Nation. And that brings us to what we have for today's dailies. Make sure that you get yourself a copy for more of the information in there to keep current. Good Morning Uganda does continue. And today's show also has things in GMU Tourism Express that you should expect. Zakia Laki will be here, and we'll be looking at family, culture, and identity and Northern Uganda perspective with the queens from Northern Uganda. That is the first runner-up Miss Tourism Uganda Northern Region 2025-26. And the Miss Tourism Northern Region 2025-26, Queen Rita Angwech and Aba Vanessa, there will be with Zakia Lucky here on the show. And we privilege and pride in the fact that JMU Tourism Express is proudly brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board. But for now, let's have a short break and prepare for the real, where we get to talk about drowning. Good morning, Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Say that you want to be another lesson, but listen, baby, but a blessing, yeah. Oli chabukaka, bona bakuencha, bajaja bakusala, mama big up. Madali, oli, bajoli, so jolly, oli. Jizo kwagala.
Terrorism, solidarity and international cooperation to ensure no person or country is left behind. Nabanja made the call on Monday during the United Nations General Assembly 10th session of a high-level political forum official opening in New York. The Prime Minister, Robert Nabanja, is leading the Ugandan delegation of the United Nations High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by...
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala, 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
My friend, when the SOAS started, I went to 3 different local clinics. Can you imagine I spent money on creams, pills, even injections? Nothing worked. I didn't know it was Mpox. By the time I tested for Mpox, I had almost spent all my savings. How I wish I had gone straight for the Mpox test. I could have saved that money and time and started healing sooner.
That's true. When you notice a rash of fever, go to the nearest health facility immediately for checkup. It saves time and money.
Yes.
For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
With support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. If you are just tuning in to watch Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV, thank you so much for choosing UBC TV. And if you've been with us since the start of the show, thank you so much for always choosing to watch UBC TV here. And this is Good Morning Uganda. My name is Julie Nantaba Musisi. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Tono, time for the real. And today we are talking about drowning. Uganda marks World Drowning Prevention Day, and joining the rest of the world to celebrate and commemorate this day, which shall be officially celebrated on the 25th of July as recognized by the World Health Organization. Now, approximately about 236,000 people die from drowning worldwide. That is close to 3,000 people, human beings, passing on from drowning. And looking at a bit more of the statistics, drowning accounts for about 70% of all injury-related deaths globally. But looking at age, globally, children, especially those aged 1 to 4 years, are particularly vulnerable to drowning. In fact, drowning is the fourth leading cause of death for children aged 1 to 4. And looking at gender, males are actually more likely to drown than females, with twice the overall mortality rate. Now, that is quite the space and shape of the statistic we have when it comes to drowning. That's why we are having this topic, because it can affect you, it can affect any one of us. Any one of us can find themselves passing on from a pool, just a mere pool, swimming pool, or even a lake. So join us in this conversation and share your opinion as well. 0709-602-592. I must ask Robert, though, do you know how to swim?
Very well.
So you
Actually,
can survive.
one of the sports I like and I enjoy and I do is swimming.
Are you particular with where you swim? Is it swimming in a pool or even in a lake?
In a pool, it's more convenient.
Convenient.
It's more convenient, and I want to say it's more safe.
Yes.
More hygiene as well, because in the pool, you go to a place where the water is treated regularly.
Yes.
You know, there are pool attendants.
That's key, where there are pool attendants.
There are pool attendants. And of course, anyone who is aware of swimming, you don't want to swim alone.
Yes, and lifeguards as well.
So if I go to a pool and I don't see any pool attendant, not that I don't know what I'm doing, I'll leave that pool. Because I've ever experienced a muscle pool while swimming. Or if I go to a pool and I find I'm the only person in water at that particular time, I would find something else to do until someone else comes in, and either I'm swimming, not that we are swimming together, but at least there's someone, because a pool attendant may be taken up. There are pools I've gone to and the pool attendant is there, but they're on WhatsApp.
Yes.
So it's
They're minding
you
their
to
own
see
business.
someone swimming, like, but this kid, she wasn't good at diving, you know. She wasn't good at this stroke. I don't see her float. Then you alert the pool attendant as you also go to save her life. So,
Right. Now, let's look at the causes of drowning. What do you think these are? Even for people who are experienced in swimming, you find that they still pass on from drowning. I, for one, have a relative who has passed away from drowning, and he was such an expert swimmer. Expert swimmer, but passed on from Lake Bunyonyi.
Well, the Baganda have a saying, "Tienyanje tajimanyite." It's a saying in Uganda that people who are very accustomed to the lake,
Right.
unfortunately, it's easy that it takes them. One, we'll begin at the lake, then also in swimming pools, because these are usually two different things. Now, on the lake, first and foremost, sometimes it is weather. Now, we do have weather information. The weather forecasters, the meteorology department, gives this information. But there's lack of a structure that enables the people traveling, the fishermen, to know what the situation is like. So most of the times, they will tell you, "Enyanje tabuka." As they are moving, then they're caught between serious waves, a situation that they can't handle. And then the boat will capsize. Two, the boats themselves. The boats, most of the times, the vessels that our fishermen use, or people that move on water, they're so used to it. You will find that we still have those that move on canoes, no engine, you know, they're just, now, even the boat, its quality, the nature of wood, the standard and everything, the vessel itself or the boat is a cause why they will drown. Water can easily in case of anything. Two, lack of protective equipment. And here there's something that really I feel our government has not done so much. Now, we have so many life-saving jackets that are substandard. Just like we have crash helmets. I usually go to these places where they sell these crash helmets as a biker and one of the leaders of the bikers community. And guess what? You find a head helmet that cannot save anybody in case of a crash or an accident. It is just like this cap almost. Once you hit your head, it cannot protect you. So it ceases to have a purpose. Why it is a crash helmet?
Why is it sold though?
I don't know.
And why is now bringing it back to the case
Same
of life
to the
jacket.
life jackets.
Why are they there? Why are they?
You find life jackets, I enjoy moving on water. I enjoy, and most of the time when I have my free time or I go board from Gaba, take me here, go here. I love the water. Now, I've noticed that most of these jackets, some are in bad condition. Imagine going on the boat and someone's giving you a life jacket, yet it can't lock.
Yeah, it has no straps.
It has no stripe. But that is a life jacket. And you find the fishermen seated, "Yabadene life jacket, naete bugasa." But the thing, when you land on water, of course, because it's floating, it will go before you.
Right.
Second, lack of information. These life jackets have particular kilos that they carry. Julie, if you're 60 kgs and I'm 100 plus, people wear life jackets that cannot enable them float on water. Lack of sensitization. Our viewer, you must have a life jacket that matches to your weight to perfect its work. Not any life jacket. I see people going for this boat cruise, someone just throws quarter, now the quarter. You know, a man like me, you're putting on something that cannot enable you to float. Therefore, you will drown with your life jacket. Then also, the other challenge, now we are still on the waters. We have lack of enforcement, sufficient enforcement, coupled with bribery and corruption, if I may say that. That we do not have these. Those enforcement will run after fishermen, fish, but in terms of safety, many of them are not good at that. But also, rescue services. I mean, who will forget the M Tempura? Remember our rich people who had gone with some beautiful young girls.
On 18th November.
On 18th November.
2018.
Where we had the likes of our artist Irene Namubiro, I think she survived,
Yes,
Prince Wasaja. This is something I think many Ugandans can remember anyway, if I don't give the details. How people died when they're just a few meters. If we had rescue services and how one was rescued and could say, this is the young man who did rescue me. So we don't have sufficient rescue services where or patrol services that they can easily spot and come and save lives. Now, briefly, I go to the swimming pools. Now, that has been the fishermen, people who use water transport. Now we come to swimming pools. One, lack of trained pool attendants. Someone starts a business. You see, in Uganda, we don't want to employ professionals. We say they are very expensive. Now, we go for people. This was a man in the village who learned swimming in Mubidiba. You know, these things where cows
they're not
swim,
necessarily
streams.
lifeguards.
They're not professionals. Now, because he can do a few movements, no basic, you bring him, he's at the pool. Now, he doesn't know even if someone, how the right way to hold someone in water. I've ever seen an incident where both the pool attendant and the person he had gone to rescue both died in water. Two, he doesn't know his role. You see, a professional, you're alert, you have ethics. How do you tell me you're a pool attendant and you're on WhatsApp seated somewhere in case of anything? They're not professionals. We don't employ professionals. Two, some swimming pools don't even have them. They don't have pool attendants. Three, some he's a pool attendant. He's the one, the child's play park. You know, those some swimming pools, there's also where swings and all that, where children are still up. So he's the same person, multitasking. Yet remember, for someone in water, it takes just seconds for that person to be gone. So a pool attendant must be there and ready. There is one pool I usually go to. There are even two at all times. There are two pool attendants. Now, the other reason is even the parents. Many parents are negligent of their children when they are at swimming pools. Mommy brings the children, so then she's eating fish with the daddy, discussing, then they pick a quarrel, or there's a misunderstanding, a message comes, the children are in water. What I call that carelessness of parents, recklessness of parents, negligence is the right word, thank you so much. Then also we have an incident where drunkenness. I've seen people, there's a swimming pool, you've been drinking, then you go in water. We also have incidents where the people themselves do not know how to swim, but somehow they end up in the deep end. Times you have to rush and push and save someone, push them back, or tell them, according to the way I've seen you, you're not worthy coming this side, because you don't know what it takes to come here. So those are some of the causes of drowning in Uganda, making the statistics of about 3,000 fatalities every year.
Now, looking at the causes you've shared, how serious do you think it is in Uganda compared to the rest of the world?
Statistics show that Uganda has a high rate of drowning. That is about 3,000. That is every year cases registered. Now, 3,000 is quite a big number. And in rankings, we might say that we're not doing very well at all compared to some of our counterparts. There's a country I don't want to refer to, but people can understand where their rates are not even 1,000. Yeah, when you go to Kenya, they are slightly also low. Now, and we must also understand that some of these cases never make it to statistics.
Right.
A number of people who drowned in water, say rivers, lakes, we talked of swimming pools, but ponds. You know, I want our viewer to understand it. You know, in villages there are these where they make bricks.
Okay.
So they remove the clay because they have to use the clay. Now water ends up, because usually these clay bricks are made in wetlands. So water gets into these, and they are more or less like ponds. Would I call them ponds? Now, many children in villages, they are dying because they go to swim, then they are held by the clay, you know, the soil, they fail to float, and we lose their life. Many of those statistics are not captured. Many are coming from school, then they go to these fish ponds, then they end up dying. So some statistics don't make it. And I must also tell you, this is a fact. A number of these hotels we are talking about that have swimming pools, someone has died in that swimming pool. But because of the image of the hotel, the premises, it is hidden.
Right.
They'll sort it out with the relatives. It doesn't escalate because it is killing business. In my time as a journalist, I've gotten a hint of these stories. But you see, by the time you get to the family, they tell you you're handling it with the hotel. The hotel told us this thing happened. Now they are going to compensate us. They have facilitated the burial. You know, they have facilitated the burial. And now we are going to, if it's like kind of, they say they are going to court, they settle it outside court. So many statistics don't make it. But a number of these swimming pools we go in some of the hotels, someone has died in that swimming pool. Someone drowned in that swimming pool. But they kept a low profile and didn't make statistics. I think I know of I've covered about 2 cases. I don't want to mention the places. But in all cases, I've seen the hotel management coming up. There was one interesting one I covered of a certain hotel around in Zambia. Now, these ones even had intimidated the family and arrested a young girl that had come with the child. But I want to thank Uganda Police.
Right.
Because I saw high level of professionalism. This hotel, they have a lot of money. This family was of poor people. But I want to tell you, I saw justice. It is one of the times I credit Uganda Police. And by then, I think he was Muzei Sabiti. Oh, he played a very pivotal role. And also, I think was it Amelian Kaima, who was the spokesperson then of Uganda Police, or someone that we made calls to? And I saw Uganda Police move in, and money failed to beat justice. Right. And now, in just a few, we're going to look at the misconceptions around drowning, especially for Ugandans, and how they see this particular conversation. But let me engage a bit of the comments. The number is 0709-602-592. It's a WhatsApp number that you should send your WhatsApp message to and be a part of the conversation as we talk about Uganda marking the World Drowning Prevention Day on the 25th of July. And it's a topic that we are looking at. And Ike comes through and says, hi to you. Thank you for watching. And Dinzo Mgaga Saurembo Nabweru Empiadako Kwendi Ngoverida. Thank you always for watching. We need trained teams about water transport and well-organized transporting means. This is Abala. Thank you, Abala, for being on the show. And good morning, Uganda. I'm glad you've opened a good topic. I personally run a safety company, but the biggest challenge with safety in Uganda is that it's given less attention, yet it should be the first to be considered. Therefore, I appeal to the government to introduce safety institutions and promote safety awareness. Surely, safety first. This is Edson Mohanji in Entebbe. I think he has a point here. Yes. So let's look at some of the misconceptions that are around the topic of drowning when it comes to Uganda. One, for example, many of the fishermen believe the lake is sacrificing. Oh, yeah. They'll tell you, nyanja esadase. Oh, wow. They believe the gods are upset. When fishermen die in huge numbers, mizimu jenyanja jiminyivu. You have to appease. No? They will tell you in a particular month, instead of knowing that certain things are laughable. I don't know, Africans, certain things are laughable. Over the weekend, I met some lady that had gone to buy some fish, and she tells me, in this month, fish is very expensive, but good. The month is almost coming to an end. Then the prices will reduce. I regularly buy from her. And I was saying, but this time, I said, no. Listen to that nonsense. Know that this particular month, the gods of the lake are not in good terms, they are annoyed. So fishermen don't dare. It is a do and die. So that's why we have, instead of finding the scientific explanation, that there is no Varewa Nyanja or something of that kind, that gets annoyed. No, it is just something scientific for you to know that maybe at this time, this and this happened. So there is lack of information. Most of the drowning cases are associated. Now, a person will not think of a life jacket. Right. Because when they die, they'll think it is spirits that are upset. And that is one of the biggest cause of death of our fishermen and people who ply on our various vessels.
Now, it's interesting. I don't want to also disregard people who have, such beliefs, because I've met, prominent people who believe highly in the gods, the deities of the Nalubales, and it would be nice to share their perspective. So if you are someone who has that worldview, it would be nice to share your perspective, logical perspective as to how this works and how this belief system comes into play. But let's also look at, when you paint that picture, let's look at factors. Do you think factors like poverty, climate, lack of education, or even infrastructure contributes to the higher risk of drowning on Ugandan water bodies?
Well, definitely. Infrastructure, yes. Though government has tried to come up with enforcement, but some of the vessels or the boats, because a vessel is bigger, the boats being used are not safe at all. And they contribute 100% to drowning. When you move so much on waters, you find people risking their lives. Risking their lives. Someone almost just has a piece of wood. And there are those funny, they're seated there and is moving, no life jacket. I usually meet them. And you tell the person who's taking you through that, but what is this person all about?
Right.
Says, that one is an expert. Meaning this one was born here. You people, you don't know people who are born on these islands. For them, they're experts. They're experts. And I've also seen something that we must talk about. Some of these sites for tourism. I was in Woko Falls. Now, there are young boys who make money through daring. Give me 10,000. I swim through those rocks. I go there, then I make a U-turn.
That's a source of money.
That's a source of money.
Wow.
But he's swimming through something very, very deadly. And the tourists, we are paying. We are paying, but this young man's life. Some are very young kids. They bring them there. These ones, they can move on these waves like nothing. And people are paying.
Wow. Interesting to see how we all think about matters that could actually be dangerous. Now, this conversation definitely will be on our social media platforms. That is X at UBC TV Uganda. Do contribute and share your opinion on there as it continues. But let me close with your comments coming in from Jordan, who says, good morning. Thank you so much for being on the show, Jordan. Good morning to you too. And good morning, Uganda. All right. Good morning, Uganda. If we are to avoid drowning, it should be an individual responsibility. Each one of us should have it in mind that no life jacket, no swimming. Fishing or entering into a water body, and above all, avoiding going to these places with young children. This is Ondaro Vincent from Morukatipe in Tororo. Some fishermen, good morning, Uganda, even rains drain people. Some fishermen put nets and don't alert people moving on water. And then Omgaga Saurembo says, Nzembuza, nga life jacket, bazisera nyo, omuntu agoyingewa. Anyways, good morning, UBC. This is Nsente Abubakar from Iganga Busei. And he says, Moana, such and rescue points should be increased in number. Thanks. I think I will close this conversation with Sir Edson's comment, Edson Mohanji from Entebbe, who said that, I'm glad you have opened this topic. I personally run a safety company, but the biggest challenge with safety in Uganda is that it's given less attention, yet it should be the first to be considered in every sector of Uganda, be it water. Therefore, I appeal to the government to introduce safety institutions and promote safety awareness. And surely, because safety comes first. With that comment from Edson Mohanji in Entebbe, we bring this conversation to a close. Up next is GMU Tourism Express. Make sure that you are safe no matter where you are. Safety first.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
My friend, when the SOAS started, I went to 3 different local clinics. Can you imagine I spent money on creams, pills, even injections? Nothing worked. I didn't know it was Mpox. By the time I tested for Mpox, I had almost spent all my savings. How I wish I had gone straight for the Mpox test. I could have saved that money and time and started healing sooner.
That's true. When you notice a rash of fever, go to the nearest health facility immediately for checkup. It saves time and money.
Yes.
For more information
about Mpox,
call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
with support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Junko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Joko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The Parish Development Model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
My friend, when the SOAS started, I went to 3 different local clinics. Can you imagine I spent money on creams, pills, even injections. Nothing worked. I didn't know it was Mpox. By the time I tested for Mpox, I had almost spent all my savings. How I wish I had gone straight for the Mpox test. I could have saved that money and time and started healing sooner.
That's true. When you notice a rash of fever, go to the nearest health facility immediately for checkup. It saves time and money.
Yes.
For more information
about Mpox,
call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
with support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Hello, hamjambo. My name is Twea. Welcome to Swahili with Twea. Let's continue looking at fruits. Tuendelee na kuangalia matunda. Chungwa. Chungwa. Orange. Shangazi anabeba machungwa. Shangazi anabeba machungwa. Auntie is carrying oranges. Limau. Limau. Lemon. Binamu yangu anachuma limau. Binamu yangu anachuma limau. My cousin is picking lemons. Ndimu. Ndimu. Lime. Mama ameleta ndimu. Mama ameleta ndimu. Mother has brought limes. Zabibu. Zabibu. Grape. Dada anakula zabibu. Dada anakula zabibu. Sister is eating grapes. Tomoko. Tomoko. Soursop. Kaka anashika matomoko. Kaka anashika matomoko. Brother is holding soursops.
See you again. Tutaonana tena.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Kamiso now. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, This is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
That was it from the newsreel. It's Show Good morning, all the way from northern Uganda. Thank you for joining us on UBC. Once again, my name is Zakia Lucky, and thank you. It's the Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. We are going to be talking about the beautiful things, history, culture, identity, all the way from northern Uganda. That is why I started with that greeting. With me in studio are beautiful pageant queens, the beauties of northern Uganda, that are going to be helping us digest this particular topic. Join me as we welcome Queen Rita Angwech and Abe, who are going to tell us about this particular topic. Good morning.
Good morning, Queen Zakia.
Good morning, Abe.
Good morning, Queen Zakia.
Good morning. When I visited northern Uganda, I was actually given the name Abe. I did share with you. Oh. Yes. So when we talk about family, culture, and identity in northern Uganda, how different is it when we look at other cultures in the country?
Once again, a very good morning, everyone. Here is Angwech Rita. I am the first runners-up Miss Tourism Uganda Northern Region 2025-2026. And today, one of the things that is very, very different about Northern Ugandan culture, first of all, I would talk about the marriage. When we talk about marriage in northern Uganda, me, I am a Lango, but I will give you some bit of the Lango part and then some bit of the Choli part. Okay. So in the Lango, it is usually a boy that initiates the courtship. So this is what happens. A boy will go to the girl's house, usually with a friend. They go like two of them, as if they're just visiting. So they go, they spend some time just with the girl, and then afterwards, they will leave. But then when they're leaving, you know, our ancient parents, those parents, they know how to do their things so much. So what they will tell the girl is, Lucky, please go and escort so-and-so. They will tell you to go and escort the guy and his friend. Meanwhile, during that escorting, that is the time that you guys have to discuss a lot. Sometimes if the guy is very open, that is when he will tell you that, you know what, I am in love with you, I want to marry you, what and such things. So, but if the girl is also interested, or if the girl has accepted the proposal, usually they have bids. Like there are beads that your parents give you, this waist beads. Yes, the waist beads. So they usually have those beads on them. So if the girl has accepted, she will pluck like one of those beads, and then she gives it to the guy to show that she has accepted the proposal. Yeah, so from there, the boy will come back with his parents now, and then they give them the bride price list. And the list usually includes the most important things. They usually take horse, garden horse, and then cattle. Let me say cattle and goats. Yeah, cattle and goats. But nowadays, there is something they have introduced. Usually it used to be any number of cows or goats. But now they have said that whether the girl is educated or not educated, it has to be from 6 cows and above. It can't be less than 6. So it's usually around 6 to 12, depending on the number of cows you're taking and also the goats. They have to balance. In some families, they even take hens. Yeah, they even take hens. And then another thing that they take is nyualber. There's what we call nyualber. It is these big saucepans. If you've ever gone to functions, the ones they use for cooking, for us we call it nyualber. So that nyualber is a sign of childbearing. The nyualber is a sign of childbearing. It is to show that, okay, childbearing is if I'm to explain it, it's like trying to tell the girl that childbearing is good. So she shouldn't just go and get married and sit, but they are supposed to give birth.
Is that the part where they carry, I think, paraffin? I've heard something about that, where a bride is supposed to go with paraffin.
Okay, that part of the paraffin is usually in the Choli clan. Usually in the Choli clan, this is what happens. Like I also started the girl escorting, what, those and those, they're kind of similar. So after the boy visiting the family, he goes back, and then the following day, the parents of the girl will send the girl to stay in the boy's place for one night. They'll ask her to sleep there for one night. Meanwhile, in that one night, usually in northern Ugandan culture, as a girl is being raised up, she's raised up in a way that when you wake up in the morning, very early you go to the garden, you do what you're doing. If you're harvesting, if you're digging, if you're planting, you do all that. And then coming back home, she'll fetch firewood because she's coming back to cook for the whole family. She comes back with firewood, puts the firewood down. The next thing she will do is carry the pot. There is, for us, we don't use jerry cans. We use pots. There is a big pot, like 20 liters jerry can. So she carries that pot, goes to the well, fetches the water, comes back. And then coming back, she's going to prepare corn. It's either corn kal or corn abir. Corn abir is sorghum.
Okay.
Then corn kal is millet. So coming back from fetching water, she will go and start preparing that corn kal. I don't know if I can give you details of.
I see food displayed on the screen. Is that which food is that?
Yes, that is boyo. Then the other one is corn kal, and then the other one is agira.
Okay.
Yeah, the green one is boyo, and then the one that you're seeing brown, that is corn kal. Then the one that you're seeing as if it's cream, white, that is agira. So
you did talk about the marriage perspective and took us through how they do meet up. And I think I have seen a community of men do crawl as they enter the hut. Is that also a part of the marriage?
Yes,
in northern Uganda?
Yes, it is. Usually when after all that initiation of courtship, everything, after all the negotiation happens, so when the guy has been given the bride price list, they now go with the family of the guy. They go to the girl's house to pay the bride price. So as they are going, because in northern Uganda, our homesteads are these huts. We don't sleep under iron sheets. Okay. We sleep in huts. So as they're entering the huts, they are supposed to remove their shoes. So as they have removed their shoes, usually there are girls that are outside that are left there to keep their shoes. Meanwhile, as they're coming out, they're supposed to pay those girls any amount they want. So as they're entering, they're not supposed to look up. You're supposed to look down. That is to show a sign of respect.
They're supposed to look down as they enter the hut?
Yes, as they enter the hut. You don't enter like this. You're supposed to look down as you enter. It is a sign of respect. Meanwhile, it is also a way of just protecting you, because if you look up, anything can fall in your eyes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, when we get to hear about Abe now, we've seen foods being displayed on the screen, and northern Uganda is one of the regions that has a variety of foods. When you visit other countries, they tell you Uganda there's just a variety, but northern Uganda itself alone can line up a whole amount of foods. Take us through the foods in northern Uganda.
Thank you very much for that question, and thank you very much for this opportunity. First of all, before I even talk about the food of northern Uganda, I always have this saying that in northern Uganda we have gold from like the actual material of gold. Then we have the liquid gold, which most people call OD, or some people call Chipoli in this central region. And then we have the white gold, which is the simsim or sesame seeds. So that, our foods are so special and all that because one of the main ingredients in all our foods is the liquid gold, which is the OD. When we talk about food, I'll talk about malakwang. As you know, malakwang, these are sour leaves.
Okay.
Yes. Then that is there's malakwang, which is sour leaves, but the sour leaf is pasted with OD. After cooking it, obviously you first remove the first water because it's so bitter. It's the second water that is pasted. And the next food we have deakngo. Deakngo, these are just pigeon peas that are mashed. They are cooked till they're soft. They're mashed. And still we put our liquid gold, which is OD in it.
When we talk about now the drink,
yes,
I think it's within the homestead setting where men sit around a pot and they have long straws.
Yes.
Yeah, give us that experience.
So that drink is family known as la choy. Some people call it la choy, some people call it kwere. So la choy or kwere is literally made from sorghum. They mix a mix of sorghum, millet, they put water. They put these are mainly grains that are fermented. And it's usually served in a pot because as the people of Northern Uganda, we believe in unity. And we believe that most people are united when they are drinking. Because men are the decision makers. Whenever there's an issue or something, they sit around this pot where they're drinking, important decisions are made. Let me say conflicts are solved. It's one of the ways we solve conflicts. It's just a sign of unity in our language. It's a very common drink up to today. Most people still do that, yes. Actually, a very big number of people, yeah.
When we come back to Rita, you took us through the marriage setting. You did hint about the homestead. How is the homestead setting like? Because when we get to Northern Uganda, you realize the huts, there's never so much space between the huts. I don't know why the structures are made like that.
Okay, the structures usually are made like that. It's just, there is a way the Northern Ugandan people, they just want to be together. They want to stay like in one community. You'll find that those are different families, but they are staying as if they're from one house. So it's just for them to be united. They just want to be together all the time. And then when you find them eating, you find them also seated. For them, they sit down, they don't sit on a table. They just put a mat down just for that food to be put down. Then for them, they sit down and you find them rounded all over the food. And they eat together.
I like how she said that's true, to confirm what you just said.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, people seeing you take us through the marriage setting, you are not married. Is this knowledge that you acquire from your homes? Do they give you the knowledge about how these things are done? Is it something you studied from school? Is it something you learned by seeing in community growing up?
Actually, I would be very happy if this was something that I was taught from school, because I feel like there are a lot of girls, there are a lot of people outside there that are lagging so much about their culture. But these are the things that we are normally taught during that the fire setting. I don't know what it's called in English. For us, we call it wang, or there is always that evening fire.
Bonfire?
Yes. There is that evening fire that they put. In that evening fire session, there is storytelling. Meanwhile, the storytelling is not just a story to make you laugh. There are a lot of lessons, there are a lot of values that are passed down, only that we do not have all the time to exhaust the stories. We would have given you a bit of a story, but during that session they give you lessons. They teach a girl that when you're greeting people, you're supposed to kneel down with both knees on the ground. That is where they teach you how to cook all those foods you're seeing. That is when they teach you all these marriage things, because they obviously know that one time you're going to get married. And marriage in Northern Uganda is not left on the girl and the boy like nowadays people do. It is usually the parents that perform the main part of the marriage. For you, your work is just to be there, listen very well, just follow whatever they're telling you. Yeah.
When you walked in earlier, I remember a colleague commenting, wondering, are you people from Uganda by how you are dressed?
How is the similarity with your culture wear with Uganda? Is it about the chikoi and then the waist strap? Tell us about the traditional wear.
Well, our traditional wear, originally we used to not wear this. We used to wear what is called chain.
True.
Or some people would wear actual animal skin. The northerners or the Acholi people mainly didn't have like an original cloth like traditional wear. We usually used to wear like animal skin or chain. But due to influence from other cultures, we have adopted, because you have to grow. You can't keep on wearing animal skin on big occasions. So one of the things that we adopted too is the kikoi. Although we don't really like do a lot with it. And this is usually worn on big occasions, like marriages. The girls wear this. When it's your day for marriage, this is what you wear as a traditional attire. Yeah.
And the dances, I think Northern Uganda has quite a number of dances that are performed in different sessions, celebrating marriage, maybe drinking and becoming happy. What are some of the dances in Northern Uganda?
So in Northern Uganda, we have a variety of dances. The first one we have is the royal dance, which is called vola. Vola is only danced in front of kings. And then the next one we have is the larakaraka, which is a courtship dance. Then we have the otole, which is a war dance. It prepares men for war. So those are some of the different dances that we have.
Okay, as we get to the climax of the show, please give your last remarks. And I had wanted to ask about the ululating that usually comes from Northern Uganda. Now that we have you, please, I will ask you to do that for us. Yes, your closing remarks, please.
I will gladly do that. In fact, I'll give you a whole for my clan. I am from Okitehe clan, and this is how we would relate. I wanna la hacheti maha. Manunga. Mana gak. Agak to tuteringa. Ba.
Amazing, yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I may not be able to scream, but I know how ours goes. It's like, parabag ye, luguaye. Iguero, mod, tiyo deko wanky dero.
Interesting, Afoy. If I was able to do that, I would also have my closing done like that. And okay. I can't even try. All I know, I just mastered this well. Thank you so much for that experience. I bet there's so many that have enjoyed it. It was Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express, and remember, we are proudly sponsored by the Uganda Tourism Board. Coming in is Julie Nantaba with the business segment.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
My friend, when the soul
Good morning. Welcome back from the northern part of Uganda. It's now time for JMU Business, and quickly looking at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute that has renewed a call for increased investment in agricultural mechanization and value addition. The appeal was made during an agricultural conference organized by the Nyaka AIDS Foundation, attended by Harvard University alumni. Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing over 70% of the population. It contributes 24% to Uganda's gross domestic product and accounts for 42% of total export earnings. Uganda Industrial Research Institute statistics show that agricultural production has stagnated at 2.2% over the past 5 years, although the population has been growing at an average rate of 3.3% annually. Institute emphasizes value addition to ensure farmers reap full economic benefits, and mechanization must replace rudimentary tools to position Uganda at the global fourth industrial revolution. These concerns were shared during the Nyaka-hosted agriculture conference, where 18 Harvard University alumni are engaging with stakeholders in Uganda for investment opportunities in agro-industrialization. And also looking at farmers, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Major General David Kasura Chomukama, has encouraged district production officers in the country to utilize the available resources to attain targets that benefit farmers. He was speaking at a two-day strategic alignment and engagement meeting for district production officers at NFLC in Mpigi district. In the efforts to improve the agricultural sector, district production officers have been encouraged to fully utilize the available resources at their districts. In a speech read for him by the Assistant Commissioner, Agricultural Extension, Ramjisha Patience, according to the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, there is a need for districts to streamline agricultural programs to develop the farmers socially and economically. He said that the Ministry of Agriculture is the biggest employer in the country with 1.8 million jobs annually. Therefore, districts should emphasize production and agribusiness hubs, enhance enterprises and value addition. Ramgisha also commended the PDM program that has brought funds down to the communities. The principal Mpigi National Farmers Leadership Center, Okwaja John Bosco, advised the production officers to share the skills with farmers and also fight counterfeit products on the market. Well, that's it for business this morning. Let's have a quick look at the rates yesterday. That is, as of the 22nd of July, the dollar opened at 3,579.77 buying and was selling at 3,589.77, and by midday it had increased to 3,581.55 and selling at 3,591.55, and indeed increased value by closing at 3,584.32 and selling at 3,594.32. Looking at the British pound, it was buying at 4,827.00 and selling at 4,840.47. The euro was at 4,188.99 and selling at 4,200.68. The Kenyan shilling still there about to 27.74, buying and selling at 27.81. And the Tanzanian shilling increased a bit with 1.38 and selling at 1.38. And the South African rand at 203.50, buying and selling at 204.07. Well, thank you so much for watching UBC TV. Good Morning Uganda does continue, and as every Wednesday, we have conversations on cooperatives, one that you should stick around for. Thank you so much, by the way, for always engaging in every conversation regarding the cooperative movement in Uganda. 0709602592 is the number to save. It's a WhatsApp number. Make sure that you engage it by sending that WhatsApp message. Good morning, Uganda.
Of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
My friend, when the SOAS started, I went to 3 different local clinics. Can you imagine I spent money on creams, pills, even injections? Nothing worked. I didn't know it was Mpox. By the time I tested for Mpox, I had almost spent all my savings. How I wish I had gone straight for the Mpox test. I could have saved that money and time and started healing sooner.
That's true. When you notice a rash of fever, go to the nearest health facility immediately for checkup. It saves time and money.
Yes.
For more information
about Mpox,
call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda
with support from UNICEF, WHO,
and its partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Uniquely ours. Explore Uganda.
Taxation is a bit complicated, and the only way to demystify it and make it as easy to understand and to comply with is through engagement. Is there a limit to the number of cars a returning citizen is bringing into Uganda? Who has paid the excise duty on this water is not the supermarket which has sold you this bottle at 1,000. It's not the business. It is the man who is going to drink this water. We strongly believe that it will only be through such constructive engagement that we'll be able to broaden our tax base and build our country together.
Buza Kamiso now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. It's a beautiful Wednesday to have conversations on the cooperative movement of Uganda. And as always, we have, of course, the usual suspect in studio. But today in particular, we are looking at affordable and accessible finance through the Cooperative Bank. And in studio with me, I'll start with the one who's new to the set, at least for as long as I've done this. I've had this conversation, and that is Mr. Stephen Mugumya Bugonzia, who is the Vice Chairman of Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union. And then head over to the usual suspect. That is CPA Ivan Asimwe, who is the General Secretary of Uganda Cooperative Alliance. Good morning, and thank you so much for watching UBC. Welcome to this conversation as we look at cooperative banking in Uganda, plus the baby that CPA Ivan always talks about, the cooperative bank, which is an achievement, if you ask me, for the cooperative movement in Uganda. Save the number like I shared earlier, 0709602592. It's a WhatsApp number, only able to text it, not call it. And when you text, we are able to see your comment, your question, your opinion on the matter, the topic that we are going to talk about. And please send it for as long as we are on the screen and within the window that we have, so that we are able to engage it, not when we are closing. But once again, thank you so much. And good morning, starting with you, Ivan. Good morning.
Good morning, Jury. I'm really very happy to be here, and good morning, all our viewers. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, Mr. Stephen Mugumya, thank you for coming. Good morning.
Good morning, Jury, and I'm happy to be here.
Right.
Good morning, viewers.
I will start right away with this question, and it's to the both of you, starting with you, Ivan, and this is to pick both of you, your 2 cents from the different offices that you handle. What does affordable and accessible finance really mean when it comes to the Ugandan setting of cooperative
Thank
context?
you so much, Jury, once again, and all our viewers, and especially the cooperators. I know so many cooperators are now watching. You know how they like UBC?
Wow.
Oh, and because of their baby,
yes,
the cooperative bank, everybody is watching. I wish we could count 1, 2, 3. You would see.
They should just send in their chats of I'm live on 0709.
And we are really very happy with UBC for giving us such an opportunity.
All right.
You know, cooperatives, I always tell people, I went to a circle in 2003, 15th of March, Saturday, 8 a.m. That's when I reported as a cashier of the circle. But you could not even tell a person that I work in the circle. They would brand you an academic dwarf. They could not imagine that an educated person would work in a circle. Why? Because cooperatives were just undercover. You could not talk about cooperatives. They could not believe that a land person would associate with a cooperative. Whenever you talk about cooperatives, they look at the poor, the uneducated, such things. But I'm very happy you have really given us a platform as UBC. For us to really tell this country and tell the entire world that we cannot transform this economy without championing the cooperative model. Because one, Uganda is an agro-based economy, and almost 70% of our population is employed there in the agricultural sector. And more than 60% to 70% of these farmers are smallholder farmers. So how do you support them for them to be able to produce, access services, aggregate, add value, and collectively market? Then you need an approach that brings them together, which is a cooperative model. Short of that, they remain servants and slaves of the middlemen. So this one, really, UBC has contributed a lot towards liberating the cooperative movement and also the economy. Back to your question.
Right.
Now, the biggest challenge that we are facing, we have so many challenges as farmers. And not only farmers, everybody, including myself as a CPA, including you, Julie, as a media person, a journalist, engineers, doctors, everybody, we all have this challenge, which is access to affordable and appropriate finance. Now, when you talk about affordability, it is in terms of cost. What is the cost implication? You want a loan, for example. I'm a coffee farmer. You need a loan to grow coffee. How much is the cost of this loan? And we all know that the cost of our loans here in Uganda is very high compared to the expected returns. So that's why you find most businesses are collapsing, because we lack patient capital. You want to start the coffee business, You know, growing, putting in a seedling in the soil, to the time of starting to harvest is around 2 to 3 years. Now, within that period, you need to start paying back the loan and the interest. Remember, you are paying back, but you have not even started getting returns from this coffee. So, how is the cost of capital? Is a very big challenge. So, the cost implication is the affordability. Is it affordable? In fact, what banks would be doing is, Julie, if you want a loan, for example, and you want to do business, then the bank should be sitting with you as a client and you do your computations together and look at your cash flows. Look at your expected cash flows vis-a-vis the expected revenues, the expected profits, and then match it with the interest. If they find that you are not going to break even, they would rather advise you, Julie, don't take this loan because you are going to lose everything. But do you think we reach that far? You just go to a bank to borrow, you find a book big like this, they say sign here, you don't even read. You know when you want money. Even as the educated, you don't read. Sign here, and you find you have put a rope in your neck and you are not aware. Tomorrow you fail to pay, your land goes. So that is affordability. Then appropriateness is you are comparing the loan period with the expected period of return. For example, you grow coffee. I like coffee so much because I grow coffee. You are taking a loan from the bank to go and start the coffee business. But how long does it take for coffee to mature so that you start getting the returns? 3 years. However, you get a loan today from a bank. This is July. August, you are supposed to start paying. The question is, where does the bank expect you to start to get the money to pay back? So in other words, you will find banks are saying we are giving out agricultural loans, but ideally these are not agricultural loans. Because you cannot tell me it's an agricultural loan when you want me to start paying using my salary. Better call it a salary loan. Because I am paying back using my salary. So ideally, appropriateness would be that you are giving Ivan a loan, and you sit together. Before I take this loan, I tell you, I am going to grow coffee, and I expect to start harvesting after 3 years. Then you say, okay, we are giving you a grace period of 3 years. You go, do your business, and then after 3 years, start paying. And even structuring the interest should be clear. That's why you find here it is very hard for Ugandans to invest. Not because they have not studied economics, not because they don't have the brains, but we lack appropriate capital. That is the capital that is targeted towards the gestation period. And we also lack affordable capital because the cost of borrowing is very high. Julie, I have borrowed myself and with my profession. But you go there, they tell you the interest rate is 18%. For you are comfortable. But take your time and look at the intrinsic costs. The other costs which are hidden. The insurance, the valuation, whichever, so many costs. Compound them together. Julie, you cannot borrow in this country. It's very expensive. And that is why we are saying as cooperators, based on this, let's have a bank. We have circles. Do you know how circles are helping people? I have worked in a circle from cashiering to general manager for 9 years. And I saw how the common person, the rural people, can access money.
Right. Thank you very much, CPA Ivan. And I'll still now come to you, Stephen. What does, according to your office and your docket, what does affordable and accessible financing really mean when it comes to the context of cooperative movement in Uganda?
Yes, thank you, host, and thank you, viewers out there. In terms of accessibility, because this is part of our today's discussion, we are looking at that wide range of financial services which are beyond the traditional financial services which most of us have been used to. Because when you walk to a bank or a financial institution, usually you are interested in depositing or in saving, but also for those who may not have enough capital, they're interested in borrowing. So these are the traditional financial services that most of our financial institutions provide. Now, those are restricted to a certain class of financial institutions. But since we are talking about a bank, the moment we go to a bank, you are looking at savings, you are looking at various forms of credit in form of loans, in form of overdrafts, in form of other types of advances. But banks go beyond that because they also facilitate international trade. They engage in buying and selling of foreign currency. Banks also engage in insurance through what they call bank assurance. We are looking at facilitating payment systems through debit cards, credit cards, bankers' drafts, checks through the clearing house. So all these constitute what we call the range of financial services which we are looking at. Now, these services may be there, but are they accessible? Accessible in form of terms and conditions. Yes, can the ordinary farmer, as my colleague is saying, can the ordinary farmer from the village in Shema, from Vundubujo, can this ordinary farmer access those financial services? Can the ordinary farmer access the different types of loans that he or she wants to do whatever income generating activities they are doing? So yes, the financial services might be there, but are they accessible? Usually, it is, we look at the terms and conditions. If it's a loan, we have the traditional collateral, a land title, and beyond what my colleague is saying, because even if you have a land title, in most cases that land title should have a valuation report. So I should be able to know how much, if I'm to sell, in case you are distressed with the loan, if I'm to sell, how much I can generate from this. Yeah, so all sorts of terms and conditions are associated with lending or with borrowing. Right. So the financial services might be there, but are they accessible? If they're accessible, which form of institution will be the most appropriate for the cooperator? In our view, in our conviction, it is the cooperative bank. So we believe that the cooperative bank, which we have started to form, is the most suitable institution able to facilitate increased accessibility to financial services, the range of financial services which I have already talked about. Now, when it comes to affordability, my colleague talked about it. When we borrow, usually there is an interest rate which we sign for in the loan agreement. We call it the nominal interest rate. But in addition to the interest which we pay on loans, we also pay a host of other costs, including loan application fees, you have appraisal fees, then you have processing fees, all sorts of hidden costs, insurance, monitoring fees. Some of them are paid upfront before you touch the money. Others are paid on an ongoing basis. So as you pay an installment, you also pay some money. It's so many costs. So when you add up all these costs, we come up with what we call the effective rate of borrowing. So in the context of a cooperative bank, will this be possible? Yes. A cooperative bank, in our case, and we are convinced, should be able to provide more affordable financial services to the members or to the clients, because one, the source of funding is actually the members themselves. We, the members, under our cooperating principles, provide principle number 3, which is member economic participation. We, the members of the institution, provide the capital required for this institution to operate. And since we provide this capital, then we control the institution, which is not like a institution in, for example, the ordinary commercial bank. Now, if we are the source of the funds, and we are the users of the funds, then it now motivates us to control the rate at which, and other costs at which we access this money. There is a saying that he who pays the piper calls the tune. So if I give you money, then I will tell you how much, at what rate I should be able to borrow, at what rate you should be lending to my colleagues in a cooperative society or in the cooperative setting.
Right.
So,
thank you very much. And I will stay with you, Stephen Mugumya, as you help us understand the difference between the operations of a SACCO bank and the Uganda Cooperative Bank operations. But that will be after I read a couple of the comments that are coming in. The number is 0709602592. And somebody comes through and says, hello, good morning, UBC. This is Patrick Komakech here, a member of Northern Uganda Acholi Region Business SACCO. Cooperative Association has really helped us grow in our businesses here in Gulu City. That is a vote of thanks. Thank you so much. And I'm Kimaleni Michael, watching you live from Bududa District. Professionally, I'm a teacher, a 1 year. And 1 year, I chanced to be in Rwanda. But I tell you, Julie, that the country is developing gradually because of SACCOs until I regretted why I went for a teaching profession. In fact, let the visitors give us their phone numbers for consultation. And somebody here comes through and says, what is the criteria of getting a bank loan as a farmer? And then afterwards they say, thank you, Mr. Asimwe. Getting loans is not easy. And finally, good morning, Uganda. I'd like to know from those gentlemen, what's the least payback time and longest time for a cooperative loan? Again, are there efforts to extend awareness to the public about cooperatives? This is Edson from Entebbe. So I will pose this particular question, or Edson's question, to you, Stephen, I think, but let's start with understanding the difference of the operations between a SACCO bank and then the Uganda Cooperative Bank's operation.
Thank you, host. Actually, let me clarify this because we actually have a SACCO, which is a savings and credit cooperative, not a SACCO bank.
Right.
So a savings and credit cooperative, in terms of the cooperative hierarchy or the structure of cooperative societies or the cooperative system, a SACCO is a primary cooperative whose members are a minimum of 30, I mean individual members. So when you look at the financial services which a SACCO is permitted to provide, it's basically savings, both what we call demand or site savings and fixed term deposits, or what we call fixed deposits. Now, in terms of lending, SACCOs generally provide loans. They do not provide beyond loans. But we are also seeing SACCOs providing more financial services in partnership with other organizations, including insurance services. Now, in banks, when a bank provides insurance services in partnership with an insurance company, we call it bank assurance. Now, in the context of SACCOs, we are talking about SACCO assurance. So where you have bank, you now put SACCOs. So the two, which is savings and credit, are the core financial services, but we add other services like insurance. But when you look at the range of financial services provided by a SACCO, it is actually very narrow compared to a bank. And in between, by the way, a bank and a SACCO, we have other categories of financial institutions. We have the microfinance deposit-taking institutions, which are tier 3 according to the structure of financial services in Uganda, and between the MDIs, like Finca and Ugaford, between the MDIs and the banks, we also have what we call credit institutions. We used to have, I think Opportunity Bank went back to credit institutions. These are institutions which basically do not concentrate. The principal business is credit. They are called credit institutions, but of course they also provide saving services. So my point is that a SACCO provides a narrow range of financial services, while a bank provides a much wider range of financial services.
All right. And to answer Edson from Entebbe, who said that he would like to know what's the least payback time and longest time for a cooperative loan is, and again, are the efforts to extend awareness to the public about cooperatives. That is still to you, Stephen.
Oh, yes. The longest and shortest period for paying a cooperative loan generally in financial services, we call that a loan term or loan period. Now, this varies. The periods vary depending on the type of loan you are taking. If you are taking a loan to grow cabbages, or you are in horticulture, I rather give you a loan of 3 to 4 months, because by that time you'll have grown and harvested the product. But if you are taking a loan to grow coffee, then it can go up to 3 years. If you are taking a loan for a border, usually we give 2 years. Because we expect that by that time we should have been able to fully repay the loan and interest. So it really depends on the loan product you are taking. But should I suffice to say that in most of the SACCOs, long-term loans are not common. We have been restricted to short-term loans because I know CPS will try to talk about it. We do what we call matching. The period I give you should match with the period as a borrower, should match the period which I'm given as a borrower from another source, because the money we are giving you is not our money. This money is either from a member or from I have got it from a loan, either from a commercial bank or from microfinance, from a financial institution. So if I'm given as a SACCO or a lender, if I have got money which I should be paying back in 1 year, then I cannot extend to you a loan which will be paid in more than 1 year. Because by the time the owner of the money comes, this money should be here for me to pay it back. So
all
it
right.
really depends.
Thank you very much. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number. And I know CPA Ivan has quite a lot to say, but let me start with this question for you, Ivan. When it comes to the new cooperative bank, and the process of having it come to exist, what are those gaps that you noticed along the process and impactful reforms that are needed for the betterment?
Oh, thank you so much, moderator. Before I proceed to that, I just want to add something on the other question.
Right.
And first of all, I want to thank the people who have sent in their messages. You can really see that the cooperators are very much interested. Everybody is watching. I tell you, some people have started carrying screens in their gardens. Don't ask me about how they get their power. But someone calls and I will say, I'm now in my castle garden, but I have my screen here.
Right.
Of course, they go with the phones. Now they have smartphones.
Mobiles,
they are watching. Eh? So the loan period is dependent on certain factors. One is the type of the product. SACCOs have different products. Like for my case, when I was still a general manager, we had emergency loans where you could apply today and you get it in the evening. And it would be short term, like for 1 month, for 3 months. That's short term. There are others like medical. Like they call you at this time, you know, your child has been admitted. That's also emergency. Very fast. School fees. Your child has been sent away from school. So the mother comes, please process for me an emergency within 3 months. When my child is coming back home, I will have paid off. Then we have like these agricultural loans where you need to appraise. So it is dependent on the product, it's dependent on the SACCO policy, it's dependent on availability of funds. So there is no standard that it is 1 year or 2 years. No, it is dependent on those factors. Now, I want to go back to your question. Of course, a cooperative bank is a bank that is there for cooperators. And all cooperators are in sectors of the economy. Talk about agriculture, finance, these are SACCOs, energy, health, transport, mining, forestry, tourism, they're everywhere. So meaning that you need a bank that is going to listen, because cooperators are the owners. You know, the beauty with this cooperative bank is that you own it. You know, what you own, Julie, is different from what is owned by your neighbor. You can't call my vehicle your vehicle. But if it is your vehicle, it is mine. I can start it or I can decide not to start it. That's why cooperatives are beautiful. Because they are member-owned, member-controlled, member-used, and benefiting members. Unlike these other banks, which are companies, where Ivan is a saver, but I'm not a shareholder. So I cannot dictate. But in a cooperative bank, I dictate as a cooperative because I have shares. They invite me for a general meeting. We are the people to determine the interest. This is what we want. These are the terms we want. You see, this is Kanokange in Uganda. It's mine. So I control it, I use it, I own it, and that is the beauty with the cooperative bank. So that is why we are calling upon all cooperatives. And I'm very happy with Ukusku. Because Ukusku here, he's the vice chairperson of Ukusku, which is Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union. It's a national union for SACCOs under Uganda Cooperative Alliance, which is the apex body. You see our structure? That is the structure. For us, we are for all, including SACCOs. But this one specifically is for SACCOs. So here, when we are talking about the bank, then the SACCOs, they play a bigger role because they have money.
Right.
But their money is being wasted somewhere. It is being taken by some other people, which we can actually consolidate and have a bank. But for this bank to progress, we need an enabling environment. This is a unique institution, and we are calling upon government. We have started engagements. Much as our baby is born, but we want our baby to grow, not to die in the infancy stage. And because this is not commercial, it's not targeting profits, but it is looking at addressing the gaps that you have asked me. Number one gap is the money accessible. Some people want loans, but they cannot access loans. Why? Because they don't have the capacity to borrow. This is my mother in the village. She wants a loan, but does she have a title? Does she have a guarantor or a surety? But when the cooperative bank is there, it will be working through the cooperative structures. That is the uniqueness of a cooperative bank. We are not going to be seated in Kampala on Nkuruma Road. No, it will go through the cooperative structures. For example, we have a SACCO in Kabgohe, which is Mohammed. So this bank will directly work with Mohammed for the people of Shema to access this money through Mohammed SACCO, but money coming through the cooperative bank. Are you seeing the beauty with it? This is how cooperative banks operate. So now we need that legal framework that will allow this bank to operate through those structures. So that if you are, let's say, in Moyo, you don't need to come to Kampala or to go to Nebi. You go through Moyo SACCO. So the bank, now if you want money, you just go through Moyo SACCO, and as you are there, you just come. You don't need to speak a lot of English because the SACCO is there in the community. Use your own language, then it is easy to access this money. And for that matter, that's why we're saying, let us have an enabling environment. The other gap that is there, we talked about appropriateness. They are giving you money to go and start poultry. Poultry, you can start getting returns after 6 months. Now, but these other commercial banks and MFIs are giving a loan today, which is July. They want to start paying in August. Literally, you have not earned any coin from this project. So, but the cooperative bank will give you a grace period. Then, like the former cooperative bank was working, it had what they called crop finance. Crop finance in the sense that you are a farmer, like now coffee. We are waiting for, I think we shall start harvesting. Is it late December? When?
We're already harvesting.
The harvesting season is over.
Almost over.
Now, so we shall wait for another month, about 4 or 6 months, for us to start harvesting. Now, in that period, you have a problem. You need school fees. You need medical and others. Where do you get the money? Now, in that context, the gap which is there, farmers have started selling gardens. You know, you sell coffee before it even flowers because of poverty. Now, a middleman will just come to your field, coffee field, and will determine the price by himself. And then you surrender your coffee before it even flowers. And once the coffee is ready, the middleman will come. He paid you less money. You can imagine he paid you 1 million, but he's harvesting coffee worth 20 million. But now the cooperative bank would be there to bridge this gap by providing you crop finance, and then you comfortably wait for your coffee. Another thing is the stabilization fund, whereby these farmers, when they are doing collective marketing, they will go to the cooperative bank. It is working elsewhere. You go to Netherlands. Like now the price of coffee has dropped. It would give you a stabilization fund. So that even if the prices fall, you don't have a problem. Because this is a bank which is working for cooperatives. So they give you that stabilization fund, and you are able to continue with your business without getting bothered with the changes in pricing. So ideally, these are some of the gaps that then also look at the quality of the people who are going to borrow. Like I've told you, SACCOs, the study by Bank of Uganda shows that SACCOs and mobile money have increased the financial access of financial inclusion in this country. Why? Because even the common person, the rural person, has the capacity now to go to a SACCO, deposit some money, and even get a loan, which was never there before. I would tell you, my father had money, but he didn't have an account in a bank because the banker was in Mbarara. So you can imagine you have 10,000 to deposit. Are you going to come from Rukunjiri to come to Mbarara to deposit? No way. The transport even is more than what you want to deposit.
Yes.
But now the circle is near in the community. And now the government has made it much better that the circle is at a parish level.
Right.
So you are in the garden the whole day. In the evening, Julie, you just come, take your 1,000, go and deposit it. That is financial inclusion. So all of these gaps are going to be addressed by the cooperative bank. And where we are set. In fact, even yesterday we had a meeting. Last week we had a steering committee meeting, and I'm calling upon all circles, all cooperatives outside there. We want your board resolutions because we need their resolutions as boards. You know, in the cooperatives, if you are to invest, then the board must pass a resolution so that those resolutions are registered. So we shall need their resolutions so that for them to buy shares. I will tell you, circles have already committed. A circle like Wazalendo has committed more than $1 billion.
Right.
Yes, in the circle. Exodus, the same. Parliamentary, the same. Ukusku, the same. UCA, the same. We are set, Julie.
Right.
You know, people are hungry for the cooperative bank.
Indeed they are, because there's a comment coming in. Good morning, cooperators. I'm Awasa Rubaromba, Chairman Banyankore Kwete.
Yes.
Cooperative Union. I'm watching live from here, Mbarara. Thank you, UBC, for this opportunity. As cooperators, we are ready to support the idea of establishing the cooperative bank. Thank you so much for being on the show. Matete Sako, we are watching. When is the cooperative bank starting? We are ready to contribute the capital. And let me move on. Somebody comes through with a question. What amount of security do I need to get a loan? And if I don't have any security for the loan, but I have an investment plan, and I don't have the money, how can I be of help to get a loan? Ivan, could you please?
Oh, thank you so much. I want to thank, you see how people are appreciative. Everybody, Julie, you also need to come and be part of us.
Of course, of course.
Yes, we really need a bank. Do you know how cooperative banks are working elsewhere?
Right.
Just go to Rabobank Foundation in Netherlands. Can you imagine? Netherlands, this is a country below sea level, not created by God, created by the Dutch. But here is Uganda, which is a part of Africa, a country gifted by nature, but with the poor people. If you were God, surely, I think God will punish us for this.
Right.
He gives you all this wealth and you are here crying. When other people in Netherlands, in coldness, below sea level, they have a cooperative bank which is worth 774.1 billion euros. This is the net worth of World Bank Foundation. You come to Germany. Germany, they have so many cooperative banks that have formed an association. You come to South Africa, they have 2 cooperative banks. You come to Kenya, the Kenya Cooperative Bank is a very big bank. You can imagine, over 700 billion Kenyan shillings, around 27.9 trillion Ugandan shillings. That's the net worth of the Cooperative Bank of Kenya. Tanzania, on the 28th of April 2025, they have launched their bank, the National Cooperative Bank of Tanzania. They combined 2 small cooperative banks and formed a giant. Now, globally, you have seen what is there. At the regional level, you have seen what is there. Ugandans, we must wake up.
Right.
This is the time, but I have the vigor that we are really moving forward. And I want to thank all of these people for the vigor and for coming up to form a bank. And let us move together.
Right.
Yes.
Now, let me come to you, Mr. Mogumia, and just ask whether there is a deliberate focus on youth, women, and of course agriculture within the affordable finance strategy of cooperatives and SACCOs in Uganda.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. It is true that cooperatives focus much more on the underserved communities, including women,
and the
youth.
Right.
And we are also adding, by the way, refugees and persons with disabilities. So in most cooperatives, we have a deliberate strategy to focus on those excluded communities. And I know there is one of the respondents asked about security for a loan.
Right.
We know in most cases women and women, youth persons with disabilities and refugees generally do not have access to security or collateral which they would pledge to get a loan from financial institutions. So what are cooperatives doing? In most of the institutions that we deal with, we have developed a mechanism where women are served through groups. They are served through groups, so they guarantee each other. If one of the women fails to pay her loan, then the group comes in through their mechanism to make good of that loan. The same applies to the youth. So what we do in financial services or in cooperatives generally is we create categories of collateral which favor different types of groups. So you have what we call the traditional collateral. If you have a land title, it's okay, you bring it. But if you don't have a land title, then we can have collaterals, what we call collateral substitutes. These are movable items which we technically call chattel items. You bring your mattress, you bring your TV, you bring your car, we shall accept it. But we also add guarantors. So those are the mechanisms which we use to reach out to those communities or those segments which ordinarily wouldn't have accessed financial services, especially loans from our institutions. So yes, we have a deliberate program or deliberate agenda to reach the underserved. Although you mentioned youth and women, yes, we add persons with disabilities and refugees.
Right.
Yes.
And indeed, to answer just for the satisfaction of this viewer who asked what amount of security do I need to get a loan, and if I don't have any security for the loan, but I have an investment plan and I don't have the money, how can I be helped?
You know, moderator, just to make a rejoinder, the beauty with the, I'm talking about circles, the beauty with savings and credit cooperative organizations is that they are within the communities. And that is why you'll find that the rate of financial inclusion has moved up, because people can even access loans. I'm talking from practical experience.
Right.
For 9 years in a circle, we are giving people without security. Because you know, Julie is my neighbor. You get me?
Is the accountability?
Yes, he's my neighbor.
Yes.
Or like Stephen mentions, we use the group methodology, whereby we, especially women and in Kabale specifically, where I worked in Kabale, you will find that the Bachiga women are so hardworking. So this is a woman who wants school fees, but does not have security, not even a tenth of an acre of land, but is getting a loan. How? We now say, form your niginas, these small groups, and each one will be guaranteeing the other. No security, we don't need land. Because we know you, every day, you find even someone digs just next to the circle.
Right.
So every day you greet her. So there is no need of saying, bring a collateral, land title, such things. No, right. That is the beauty with it. I will give you a scenario whereby one of the women, I'm now giving a practical experience. One woman comes, I was a general manager for the circle, Ruchiga Circle in Kabale. A woman comes from Kamwezi and says, I need a loan, and unfortunately, I lost my husband 10 years ago. And we said, oh, very sorry, widow, sorry. 1 week, the loans officer goes there to assess. Do you know what happened, Julie? You know, Kabale is here, there are these valleys. And within the valleys, you find they are distilling waragi, this local blue. So, as the man is crossing, the loans officer is going to assess a woman. The man, so when he reached where they distill this waragi, he asked, for example, where is Julie's home? They said, you are going to Julie? Yes. No, but the husband is here. No. The loans officer got shocked. But the woman told us she's a widow, the husband died.
Right.
So the loans officer had to continue, and now the man says, let me go with you. So these drunkard men, let me go with you home. So they reached home. So when the woman sees the loans officer with his husband, she starts crying. She goes behind the house and whispers to the loans officer that don't tell the man what you had come to do. Just tell him that you're a visitor. The next day, the woman comes to the circle, crying. She cried for like 30 minutes. And I said, Madam, why did you tell us that the husband died 10 years ago? And yet my loans officer tells me that the husband is there. The woman again cries for another 1 hour and says in Runyarwanda, Arafu yahagaze. My husband died when he's still alive. Can you imagine?
Yes.
So, to cut the story short, we do not, since then, we said we are going to give you money, no security, your brother will be your guarantor. I want to tell you, Julie, they invited me for the graduation. This woman was paying school fees for the children. They invited me. The children were very intelligent. They are now, there is a lawyer, there is an engineer, there is a doctor, there is an accountant. So I'm now the father in the home. And she told the children that you were able to study because of Ivan Asimwe, the general manager, who accepted me in my poverty without security. I have now graduates. The woman is very rich now with a vehicle. They have bought to her a farm.
Right.
So I want to tell managers outside there that consider women, don't look at security, look at women, support them, because women suffer and women are the champions of this economy.
Right. Now we're about to start to bring this conversation to a close. We have started the tail end. And let me engage your comments. Really such an avalanche of comments. Hopefully we are able to engage all of them. But is there a COP bank in Barara? And what is the interest rate? Because the SACCOs are charging more than 30%. This is Kapere, who says, Stephen, would you want to answer that? Is there a cooperative bank in Barara? Because, and what is the interest rate? Because the SACCOs are charging more than 30%.
Well, Kapere, thank you. I come from Shema, and I know that most of the SACCOs in that region charge 2.5% on reducing balances. So 30%, I think it's a bit outside that range. But back to the question, as my colleague said, we have started the process of forming a cooperative bank. So we do not have that bank in place yet, although the process is progressing well. So there's no branch in Barara. It used to be there, of course. I was, by the way, I worked in a bank for a long time. I'm a professional banker. So when the cooperative bank, the former cooperative bank was closed in 1999, I was already in banking. It had a branch in Barara, but that branch closed as a result of closing the mother institution. But suffice to say that when this bank is up and running, our model of operation will not necessarily be opening so many what we call brick and mortar branches. No, as has already been said, we have a very big outlet. We have so many circles with branches. We have so many cooperatives with branches and structures. So we may, the model of operation which we are likely to start with is working through a few brick and mortar branches, but also working much more through agents.
Right.
The agents will be circles and other cooperatives.
So, Julie, in other words, the cooperative bank has just started. We are not yet into operations. So for those who are waiting, we shall be coming. Yes, and then the issue of charging interest by circles. I want to educate Ugandans. Some people don't know that circles are the cheapest. Because for them, their interest is their interest. They tell you. They don't have these hidden costs. And secondly, for them, they charge interest on a reducing balance. And Julie, even if you borrow the money from a circle today, the method we are using, then tomorrow you get your money back. Like you have sold your cow and you have the money. You pay back. The interest is charged for 1 day. That's the beauty with the circle. Unless compared to other financial institutions where they charge interest for the entire loan period and book it. Even if you pay back tomorrow, you pay the entire interest and principal. For circles, you only pay interest for 1 day at a reducing balance. So we need a lot. Because someone asked about public awareness. We really need to invest a lot in public awareness to educate Ugandans. And that is why I again say thank you, UBC, for this opportunity.
All right. Hello, good morning. This is Susan from Boyali. I would like to join. What can I do? Or what are the requirements needed to join the cooperative movement?
Oh, that one is easy. And so you look for a cooperative that is near you. whether SACCO, whether any other type of form of cooperative near you. And even now, there is the parish development model, there is a Myoga, and we appreciate the government for this initiative of supporting the smallholders to also to access. So, wherever you are, you can even go to the district commercial officer of your district, and the commercial officer will guide you on which institutions are within your communities so that you can go and join them. Or in case you don't have, you can have a minimum of 30 people. You come together and form a SACCO or any other type of cooperative. So it is very easy to do that. Or you can even come to Uganda Cooperative Alliance. We will guide you. You can come to Ukusku in Maganjo. They will guide you. This is our work. Thank you.
Right. If a SACCO cheats and doesn't pay my salary after termination, where do I go for assistance? Let that be answered by you, Mr. Mugumya.
I hope this comes from an employee, an aggrieved employee of SACCO. So he or she is asking. Yes, irrespective of the terms of disengagement, because, well, but he or she used the word cheating. Meaning maybe that there's no problem on the side of the employee, but the SACCO has failed to pay back. We know we have grievance handling mechanisms. Of course, I expect that each SACCO has what we call a human resource policy, which defines exactly what happens in terms of separation. So if a SACCO, for example, terminates my services, it is bound to give, first of all, it is bound to give me notice. And by the way, these policies do not stand alone. They are enshrined in the Employment Act, and a policy cannot prevail over the Employment Act. So whatever you have in your employment policy must be consistent and comply with the Employment Act. So what I'm saying, termination has conditions. So if your services have been terminated unfairly by the SACCO, it should have given you notice. If it has not given you notice, then it should pay you money in lieu of notice. But of course, there are other things that the SACCO should consider, depending on how you agreed. And if the SACCO has unfairly terminated your services, it should pay you those benefits. But in case the SACCO does not pay, I think that's where the problem is. Then there is legal redress. You go to the probation officer, no, the employment officer. Yeah, we have labor officers, call them labor officers in the locality. That labor officer should be able to handle that case. In case the labor officer cannot conclude your case, then you proceed to the next step, which is we go for legal redress. You got courts of law. Yes.
All right. Indeed, it's time is against us, and we have to make room for Good Morning Uganda Extra. But allow me end this as I thank Mr. Ivan Asimwe, CPA Ivan Asimwe, who is the General Secretary of Uganda Cooperative Alliance, as well as Mr. Stephen Mugumya Bugonzia, who is the Vice Chairperson, Uganda Cooperative Savings and Credit Union, for making it this Wednesday to educate Uganda. And ending this with a comment. Good morning, I'm watching from Uganda Matters University. Keep pushing for this bank because it's the best way to go, most especially for the smallholder farmers. If we want to make a meaningful statement of agriculture being the backbone of this country, we need cooperative banks. This is Mr. Ivan. Thank you for the presentation as well. Thank you so much for being on the show. Good Morning Uganda does continue with Extra, but for me, it ends here. We'll do this again tomorrow. And once again, I thank these two gentlemen who have come to talk about the cooperative movement in Uganda. Be a cooperator. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.